Okay, so this is going to be kind of how to make a basic curtain. So what we're going to start with is a plane. Just going to be our curtain. Make it however kind of big you want. So we're just going to rotate it. Hold down J to get 15 degree increments. And so kind of just make it however big you want, or like if you want it to be like that for like a half of a curtain, and then you're going to duplicate it. That's something I like to do. And then we just need a lot of subdivisions. So like 25 and 25 is probably fine. I don't ever keep it like even, but that's probably good. I'll make sure you're on object mode, and then go to FX, do Ncloth, create Ncloth. So now it's an Ncloth, and what you're going to do is create a cylinder, and what we're going to do is create the rod for the curtain to kind of hang off of. Come on. And we're going to be scrunching it to make it kind of get that nice folding effect. And so it's kind of like we're going to repeat the process and get more subdivisions in this curtain rod. So kind of increase that there. That's probably fine. Probably more than enough, honestly. Let me move this down a bit. All right. And this does not have to be like the size of your actual rod. This is going to be for creating the curtain scrunching, and then you can always create the rod, your actual rod, later. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to go to vertex mode, and you're going to select just these top vertices, and then you're going to control click the cylinder in here, and then you're going to go to in constraint point to surface. You can see these are kind of highlighted now. So what it should do is just have these kind of stuck on here. Sometimes it doesn't like to work, but yep, okay, it's on there. You can see when I press play that it's not falling like an Ncloth usually does because it's stuck to this rod. So it worked. Yay, I love that when it works. If it doesn't work, try to just make sure you've already set this as an Ncloth, and you do the control click, or make sure it's like close to the rod. Sometimes if it's too far away, it doesn't like it. Yeah, so now, oh my gosh. So now basically what you do is you just kind of mess with the Ncloth settings, and you mess with the rod settings. So I will be going to the nucleus settings here. I'm going to increase the gravity a little bit, kind of the air density. Already going to kind of see. Okay, so I see it's going to like bounce a little bit. That's nice. And this will be good for if you want a cape as well. If you want to make the wind speed kind of go crazy. Maybe not that. There's something. Alright, I'm just going to undo that. It's one of these settings. I'm not too familiar with this, but one of these. And then, so what the real magic is you kind of got to play around with this. So you're going to start, make sure you're going to be playing with this timeline a lot. So make sure you start at 0. And you're going to take this cylinder, press R, and size it and shrink it down. And then you're going to press play. And nothing's going to happen, which that happens so much. I'm not even going to lie. Start the timeline over, shrink it down some more, and then press play. Nothing's going to happen. Okay. Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Okay, restart the timeline. We're going to grow this out a little bit. Press play. Great. Okay, I'm going to size it up a bunch. I'm going to press play. Sure. Let me try that. You know, it's all just trial and error. Okay, so we got something. We got something going on there. Okay, maybe don't restart the timeline every time. Oh, yeah. Okay, so in the middle of this, don't restart the timeline. Okay, so kind of play the timeline a little bit, and then in the middle of playing it, kind of shape it like that. So we're going to shape it to like here. Get it? It's going to stretch out. I'm going to reset it. I actually want it to be reset this time. I'm going to start it here, and then I'm going to kind of shrink it a little bit and get that nice curtain look. And now I'm going to pause it there. Okay. So ignore the resetting the timeline thing I did and do what I did instead. So you kind of want it to start. So I'll start it over and show you what I did. Okay. So start however big you want. Start the timeline over. So we're going to play it, pause it, and then shrink it, and then play it again. And you see it gets that nice scrunching effect, which is pretty nice. So say I don't like that. I'm like, nah, that's not scrunched enough. So you can even do this to like get it stretched out, which is nice. But I'm going to say scrunch it that much more, and then maybe go to my nucleus and increase my gravity. Let's see how that does. That's like mega scrunch, and it's fighting up there. It's not liking that. But I just kind of want a nice regular old curtain. So I'm going to start my timeline over, and I'm going to make this back to like a normal length. Start my timeline over, press play, and then I'm going to scrunch this up just a little bit, and press play again. Kind of let it settle a little bit, and I'd say that looks like a pretty good curtain. And so what I'd like to do, I don't even know if this is right, but I just duplicate it with Control D, and I keep this iteration. And sometimes I'll go back here and keep playing, let it keep playing out. Maybe sometimes even change things that are happening, maybe some wind, things like that. Maybe it's breezy in the room, so I'll get this one. And then maybe what I'll do is when I'm actually creating my room, I'd put a rod over here and be like, oh, look, it's moving. So that's pretty much it on actually creating the Ncloth in that shape. What I like to do is I extrude it just like a little bit like that. Not too thick. Probably about there. And object mode. And then I smooth it out, so it looks pretty nice, pretty basic. You can always go back in and sculpt the lines. And this is just for those curtains that are like scrunched up in between the poles. I just kind of like stick them on there. But if you want to get the ones that fold over, that would be like a different thing. Then in that case, you can make this a passive collider and kind of create your geometry ahead of time and then kind of land it on there. But yeah, so that should hopefully help you out.